Welcome to January's Business Outlook Survey press conference call. My name is Catherine Dibling, Senior Media Representative, and with me today is Senior Economic Analyst Mike Trebbing, who will be answering questions from reporters Ellen Freilich of Reuters and Kathleen Madigan of Dow Jones on what the manufacturers said this month. We may have a few other reporters joining us later. Mike Trebbing will give a brief summary on today's report and then take questions. Mike?
Thanks, Kathy. Indicators from the Business Outlook Survey in January suggest that the region's manufacturing sector remains on a path of expansion. All of the broad indicators remain positive, and there was an apparent pickup in new orders and employment among the firms polled this month. Price indicators suggest that increases in input prices are more widespread this month, as they have been in recent months. And for the second consecutive month, more firms report increases in prices for their own manufactured goods. Firms continue to expect growth in their manufacturing business over the next 6 months.
Thank you, Mike. Questions? Ellen Freilich of Reuters?
Talk to me a little bit about employment trends.
Well, we're starting to see some improvement in the numbers this month in particular. We're seeing about a quarter of the firms reporting increases in employment, which is a bit of a pickup compared to the fourth quarter of last year, and fewer firms reporting decreases. And in our special questions this month, we actually did ask them about their plans over the next 6 to 12 months, and we can talk about that later. But nearly half of the firms indicated some plans for employment growth over that time horizon. So the employment numbers are looking better, along with some of the current broad indicators this month.
Okay, question. Ellen, did you want to ask another question?
No, thank you.
Okay. Kathleen Madigan, Dow Jones?
Let's focus now on price increases, because the prices paid really continue to be high, and then the jump in the prices received, in a way is a good thing, because it suggests that some inflation may be finally working through into the retail sector.
Right. We've seen pretty large increases in the prices paid index, about 42 points over the last 4 months, I believe, and another boost this month. So we've had increases in that number every month for a while. And for the last 2 months, we've actually had more firms reporting increases of their own prices than reporting declines, although still a smaller percentage. About 25% of the firms reporting increases in their own prices, compared to 54% reporting increases in their costs. So some of this may be year end or beginning of year price increases that we've been hearing about. Of course, the numbers are seasonally adjusted, but still the trend on both of those numbers appears to be going up.
Ellen Freilich, follow-up questions?
Nothing right now.
Okay, thank you. Kathleen Madigan, follow-up questions?
Can we talk a little bit about the special survey? You mentioned earlier that nearly half of the respondents plan to hire this year.
Right. That number was not reported in the table, but what we did is we focused their attention on employment growth over the next 6 to 12 months, and we asked the firms about the most important factors behind their plans to increase employment. So the firms that were planning on increases responded about the most important factors leading to that conclusion. Likewise, we asked for the most important factors restraining hiring plans, and firms were asked to rank the factor from most important to second and third most important. So as you can see on the chart that we presented in the release, for those firms that were planning to increase employment, the most important factor was the expected growth in sales, with about 39% of the firms reporting that as the most important factor, and about almost a half of the firms it indicated that was in the top three factors as being important for increasing employment. And then we asked the firms that were about factors restraining hiring plans, and also you expected the fact that growth in sales was expected to be low was cited by about 40% of the firms, with a little over half of the firms indicating that in the top three factors, followed by uncertainty about regulations and government policies, where about 40% of the firms indicated that factor is one of the top three most important factors, followed by labor costs being high. So once again we see that the lack of demand or the expectation of growing demand is what's growing the employment picture.
And you didn't get a sense of the magnitude of the firms expecting to hire. You don't know if it's going to be 5 slots or 200 slots.
No,
right?
That's exactly right, and that's the nature of these surveys. We're asking for qualitative statements about changes from current levels. So we did not ask about percent increases, only the direction of change.
Okay, thanks.
Mm-hmm.
Any follow-up questions?
Yes, maybe for your follow-up question, next time you can ask them numerically what kind of increase in hiring that involves relative to the size of their current workforce.
Right. Yeah, we do that occasionally in our special questions.
Right.
There's a trade-off between getting responses to a qualitative survey where they just have to check boxes and asking specific numerical results, but that's a good suggestion.
But even if it's not that, it's like an approximation or a percentage of their workforce expansion.
Right.
Yeah. Thank you very much.
Sure enough.
Any questions, Kathleen?
That's it.
All right. Thank you, ladies.
All right, thank you.
Thank you. Have a good day. Bye-bye.
Thank you. Take care.
Bye.
To follow up the press conference, I'm going to ask Mike Trebbing just one question this time. He's Senior Economic Analyst in the Research Department. I was thinking about the future, and everybody's always interested in the future, what's going to happen in the economy. And it seems like to me, from reading the report, that we've got some mixed results. I mean, the special question indicated, as far as I was reading it, that there's optimism, but then our own future activity indicator dropped off by 5 points. Can you talk a little bit about that?
Right. We saw a little bit of a dip in the expectation numbers this month. However, there was an increase in those numbers, at the end of last year, and our readjustment of the numbers for new seasonals also boosted those numbers in November and December of last year. So we're characterizing the expectations as being still relatively optimistic, especially compared to the second quarter of last year. We saw some improvement in the fourth quarter, and that's carrying over into the new year. So I wouldn't make too much of the dip in the 6-month forecast. And the employment forecast is looking a bit better, as we discussed in the special question. So I think on balance, optimism is growing among these firms.
Thank you, Mike. You've just been listening and watching the Business Outlook Survey press conference call in January. Next month's Business Outlook Survey will be released on our website on February 17th, 2011. See you then.